Hello guys, this is William from YouTube, and today's episode is entitled, Does She Come with the House? Now every year in October, Buffalo City Court has their real estate auction. And several years ago, I bought my first house in Buffalo, and I was telling my friend who also owned a house in Toronto that they're about to have this auction, and houses are gonna go for cheap, for just pennies on the dollar. Cause I told him I bought my first house for $51.50 from the album Van Halen, 5150. So I told him we can also get some deals in Buffalo. So he decided he was interested and he wanted to come. So early in the morning I pick him up and we drive down to Buffalo and we cross the border. Drive him around town and he's saying, wow, William, the houses here are really run down, dilapidated. The roof is caving in, missing siding. It just looks terrible with the empty lots and a lot of trash and debris. This was back in 2011 when they had that recession. I said, yes, I know. But they're knocking down a lot of houses, so a lot of it's going to be cleaned up. But you got to remember that we're going to be in here for business. So we drove around. I showed him some of the properties that I had on my auction list. And I kept telling him that's available, this is available. And he said, "Wow, a lot of houses are potential." So we highlighted the ones that we wanted. The green ones are the ones we really liked. The yellow ones we knew maybe it had some problems that we could see from the outside. And red, we could tell that it was vacant from board up. So that means we can assume that everything needed to be done for the property. So I go into the last location, which is my house. I show him the property that I bought for $51.50 on a credit card. I just swiped the credit card and then bought my first house on credit card. That's how it happened. And he still doesn't believe it. So we get over there and I tell him that we're gonna stay at my house, so we don't have to pay for the hotel because he's a cheapskate. I'm a cheapskate, so. We're like, hey, might as well just live here rent free. You already got the room available. So we stay at my house rent free for the next 3 days. We go for the auction for the first day and the second day. The third day was the one we were most interested in. Those were the properties that were near my property that I wanted to vote for. Because I wanted to make sure that I was nearby my property so it's easier to manage. So I showed him the inside of the house. He said, well, William, looks kind of depressing, that, you bought this house for $51.50, you put about $50,000. I told him, well, for $50,000, we're not going to make this house the Taj Mahal. It's just got to be clean, neat, and, up to Section 8 standards so you can get $700 upstairs. It was tenanted already for $700 upstairs USD, which is like $1,000 Canadian. And downstairs was 5 rooms, renting for $350 each American, which would have been about $500 Canadian for each one. So when he added those numbers up, he was saying, "Wow, William, you got a business here for $50,000. You're getting that much money on the property minus the utilities. You cannot get that in Toronto. In Toronto, it's all about equity. Everyone just passes the house to the next house to unlock the equity in the house from selling the house." So he said, "Wow, William, I know this is going to be a steady stream of income for the next 20, 30 years. The house will be paid off. In about 4 to 5 years, it pays itself off. After that, it's just a steady stream of income." So we go to the auction the next day. We go downtown and we register. We watch how the first day goes, second day goes. Gets a gist of how the auction is done. You put your mallet when you want the property, and you just hold it up until no one else is holding it up but you, and then you get that property. And when you get that property, you go to the back and you put 10% of the asking price that you bid it for, and then in 1 month the city of Buffalo is expecting that you pay the rest of it. And if you do not pay the rest of it, then you would be banned from further city auctions. And also they would just get the next person in line and ask them if they want to bid for that property and pay for the last asking price. And that's how it usually go with the Buffalo City auctions. So on the third day, these were the properties that we're looking for because it's close to the property I already bought. We bought the first house for 2,300. He was surprised. He looked at me, I looked at him, and I said, "Well, there you go. I wasn't lying." The next house we bought for 11,000. I said, "Well, we paid a little bit more, but as you can see, it was in a better area, and it was closer to downtown." So I said, "We might as well." So we are so excited. We finally finished the auction. We decided to go home and get our burglary tools, our crowbar, hammer, chisel, and screw gun. And then we went to Home Depot to go and get our lock sets because at the auction they do not give you any keys to those properties. They're most likely if the house is vacant, you're gonna have to install your own locks. So the first thing you have to do is somehow get in through the window if any of them are unlocked, or if the front door is missing, then you can just walk in, put in a new front door with a new lock, and there you go. You are a landlord. Or if the house is occupied, then you can give the people 24 hours so you can enter in, get a copy of their keys, and then once you get a copy of your keys, then you can go from there and change the locks if you want to. So yeah, we go to the first property, so excited, go to the 2,300 property. Obviously this one was a vacant one. It was for such a low price. It was all boarded up, so we got our burglary tools out. We crowed all those boards out the door. We went through, had a look around. Nothing unusual about this house. Most of the windows were still in there. The doors were still there. Walked around upstairs, downstairs, make sure there wasn't any homeless people having sex in the house, make sure there's not homeless people sleeping, make sure there's no squatters. Just an empty house, that was it. Nothing was in there, no furnace, no hot water tank. We pretty much had to put everything back in, kitchen sink, vanity, bathtubs, hot water tank, furnace. We had to put all that back in because when houses go vacant, all of these scrappers go around and take everything that's valuable out of the house, that's metal or anything that could be reused, like a bathtub, sink, stuff like that you could reuse, and then they would sell it to anybody, or they can go to the scrapyard, and depending on the weight, they'll get a return on the amount of weight. Depending on the metal, you get a return on money. So a lot of people, that's their hustle. They go around scrapping. So we drove away, put our locks, we went to the next location. This house was occupied for 11K, and I remembered this day because a lot was going on with this house. As soon as we pulled up, we see a sharply dressed man, who later we found out was the landlord. Did you know this landlord was he was hiring some people to go and take the furnace and hot water tank out of the basement. So we pulled up and we see this sharply dressed man. We say, "Hello, hi, my name is William, and I'm the new landlord for this property. We just bought it from the auction." And so when we just bought it from the auction, as soon as he heard that, he got up and he ran away. He said, "Oh man, I forgot something." We didn't know he was the landlord that time, but now we know why he was acting in such a manner. Because when we went down to the basement, we noticed that there was two guys down there taking the furnace and hot water tank. And we said, "Wait, hold on, man, hold on, what you doing, man? We're the new landlords of this property. What you trying to do, taking stuff out of this house?" So they got scared and they walked out. They said, "Oh man, sorry, I thought this house was vacant." So that was their scare. I said, "Yeah, man, get up out of here." So then we go to the first floor. The first floor, there was a whole bunch of guys. And, I think we just walked into some kind of crack party because there was a whole bunch of guys and girls just doing crazy stuff, just sniffing and all kinds of drugs and playing cards. I said, I remember the first time we walked in, the first thing I say, "Hi, my name is William, and I'm the new landlord." I sounded like such a dork. And everybody just looked back, and I said, "Oh, you know what? We'll come back another time. Yeah, I can see you're busy." Afterwards, we go upstairs, and We go upstairs and we see the door is unlocked. So I was thinking, maybe that's the landlord was living upstairs. That's why it was empty. So we decided that, I guess since he was gone, we might as well take a sneak peek, and if he says anything, we just tell him that we just bought the house from the auction. So we go up there, and we're looking around, and then my friend said, "Hey, there's a naked girl in here." I said, "What? A naked girl in here?" I was telling him, "Does she come with the house?" It's like, "I don't think so." Wait, hold on. Let me come up and over there. So I go over there and I see this naked girl, and she's like telling us, "Man, y'all better need to go." I said, "Why do we need to go?" He said, "Because my boyfriend will be back." He's like, "Your boyfriend?" Man, shoot. The only reason why we walked in here, we thought this place was empty. So we said, "Okay, fine. Well, here's our business card. Just tell your boyfriend that when he comes back, that we bought this property." Anyway, that was too late because we heard footsteps coming up. Do, 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 do. My friend and I looked at each other, and we're like, "Oh shit, we are in trouble." Stop the show. Now, we only had a few seconds to figure out what we needed to do. So I'm going to give you guys the 4 options of what William possibly could have done in this scenario. If you know there's a naked girl upstairs and the boyfriend is coming back upstairs and you're a perfect stranger, what do you do? Do you A, jump out of the window from a second floor story building? Do you B, size him up, and when you see him, size him up, and if he's smaller than you, then if he gets mad, try and get into a fight with him, because it's 2 of you guys there. You guys can take him on. Do you C, do you threaten to call the police, or you already called the police for a possible homicide in progress? Do you copy 1040? 1040. Or do you D, offer the man some money, or offer him some money if anything should start to go down and get mad, and just say, "Sorry for the trouble. Here's a couple of dollars." Or do you E, do none of the above? Jeopardy music. Alright guys, back to the show. Alright, so if you guys pick number A, jump out of the window of a second floor story, you're wrong. You know black people can't fly. Why would I do something like that? I've done that one time and I broke my leg. I said, I'm not ever going to do something like that, man. Y'all must be crazy if I pick number A. Alright, for y'all that pick B, wrong again. You know I can't get into a fight. Look at these fingers. They're so delicate. Look how delicate my fingers. Look how delicate my toes are. I am not a fighter. I am a lover. And the other guy that I was with, the Guyanese guy, nah, he's not going to get into no fight. We were both 5 foot tall, 5'6", and when we saw that shadow was 6 feet long on the floor, we said, if that shadow is 6 feet long on the floor, he's probably like a 7 foot tall basketball player. So no. B is out of the question. Do you threaten to call the police or call the police? Now, if you knew from my previous video of the last time when I called the police, that only made them more anxious and more furious. So no, I did not call the police for a possible homicide in pursuit. Do you copy 1040? No, I did not do that. No. That would only aggravate the man. Or what about D? Did you offer him money for the inconvenience, and then hopefully he'll turn away? No, Of course, we never did that. We're both cheapskate. We don't have any money in our wallet. The most we would have in our wallet is probably $5. And I know that guy would never let us go to the ATM to pull out more money to if he's in an anger or rage. No, that would never happen. I would not do something you would do like Carlton from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and offer money. It worked on the TV, but this would never work in real life, especially in the hood. Nuh-uh. Or what about E? None of the above. Ding, 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 ding. That is the correct answer. If you know anything about William, none of those answers were right. It's E, none of the above. This is what William did. He used his lips. And you know, I know how to talk my way out of all kinds of problems. So as soon as the guy came upstairs, what did I do? I put on my African accent and make it look like we were out-of-towners and we did not know the American customs that we had to walk when he wanted to come in. So as soon as he walked in, he said, "Hey, how you doing, my brother? Yes, you know, we just came here from Nigeria. Yes, you know, we just saw this. I can see you are doing very well. Look at this. You come to see this house. We bought this house from the auction. You see the paper here. We are new landlords. You see?" And then, you know, he bought that. He bought that story that, you know, we were out-of-towners. Maybe he was compassionate that we were out-of-towners and we didn't know the customs, you know, that we can't just simply walk in. And when we were doing our African accents to make it look like we are not from America, he was compassionate. But then I found out later on that the reason why he didn't pummel us to death was because he was on probation. Because we sent a contractor there to go and fix a toilet about a month later. And he told the contractor, "Can you believe those two Nigerian guys? They came over here, just walked in unannounced, and my girl's all naked and everything." And I was like, what would, I can't believe people just walk in like that. I know they're supposed to walk or, you know, get some kind of type of notice and stuff like that. And the contractor, you know what he said? He told the contractor that, "Man, if I wasn't on probation, I would have pummeled those guys to death about just coming and walk up in here, come to see my girl." So there you go. I got another situation because the guy was on probation. So when people talk about defund the police, shut up about the defund the police. You might be crazy as hell. We need police, especially in the hood. That's the most stupid thing I've ever heard about defund the police. But shut your mouth. Man, I wish I could slap that taste out of your mouth. Anybody that talk about defund the police. Save my ass twice. Boy, you know, I did have a daydream last night while I was writing this paper that, you know, the boyfriend never came upstairs. I'm sure it would have went different. I'm sure she would have said, you know, "Slide it in, boys." And then we both would have been like, "All right." I know she comes with the house. Oh boy, but we had a lot of fun. Every time my friend and I go to Buffalo, we laugh about that story when we drive by that particular house. I still have the house to this day, and every time we drive by the house, we laugh about that story. I had to put this in the video. So I hope you guys picked the right answer. Make sure you like, subscribe, and if you would like to hear more stories, make sure you up the view count. Make sure you get other people to watch this. It's free to do so. Thank you. William from YouTube.